Breaking news are happening now.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Reality Flash. My name is Mike Bloom, and I am here to bring you the flashiest breaking news in the wild world of reality TV. But first, we've got a big piece coming out for you from the Big Brother world. At long last, the premiere date of Big Brother 27 has been announced. And a la the 90s, 90 being the key number, we are supersizing everything. But first, before we get into all of that, I am never one to fish for likes, despite what one iconic Big Brother winner might have told me once upon a time. But I'm always searching for subs and tips. So be sure to subscribe to The Reality Flash at therealityflash.com while you're there. Leave a rating, leave a review, leave a zing if you want to. And of course, if you spot any reality TV news that you want me to cover, no spam, no solicitations, just tips at therealityflash.com. Again, just tips at therealityflash.com, because we know the Big Brother fan base is often searching for tips at some point. There are certain sectors of that fan base, but we're here to talk about the fan base as a whole, and a big whopping bit of news that they got today. Not only the premiere date of Big Brother 27, but many, many things to go alongside with it that are first for this series. Now, of course, if we were to even utter the words Big Brother in succession on this podcast network, this man would appear a la Beetlejuice, lovingly so. And I would say he has not been in stasis. For those that have been checking out all the great work he's been doing with the BB retrospective over the course of 2025 so far, but now he is moving from talking about BB past to BB present. Taran Armstrong, it has begun.
Yeah, I mean it's BB future. I think it's not quite here yet, but yeah, they're saying it's gonna be big. There's supersizing that haven't heard that one before, but hey, they love it big there, and apparently they also love their tips.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, we know that Big Brother loves to crib from Texas A&M. We know everything's bigger in Texas, so it only makes sense that it really becomes one and the same in terms of its phraseology.
Truly. I'm excited to talk about Big Brother once again in the present/future.
There we go. So whatever tense we're in right now, things have been tense for the past little while as the upfronts went by. People were sort of waiting on bated breath, comparing to past seasons. When is the premiere date of Big Brother going to come out? And today, May 14th, CBS has just put out a press release that has long last announced the premiere of Big Brother 27. And there is plenty of stuff to break down from this press release in general. But I guess we'll start with sort of that big bottom line item that a lot of people have been waiting for with bated breath, Taran. July 10th. I know that last year was very late, considering, Big Brother 25 came out a bit later as well, but that was also to partially run into, October and November due to the writer's strike. Last season came out on, I believe, July 17th. This season, 1 week earlier on July 10th with a 90-minute episode. Get used to me saying that. Anything you would take away from a July 10th premiere date? We'll talk about what the speculation might be for a finale date. That information has not been revealed. Does it feel too late for you? Right on time for a Big Brother season?
Who knows at this point? They're all over the place. It's June, July, August. They start when they start at this point. It feels earlier. It feels like we're creeping back to the more normal start time for Big Brother. But, it's still, I think, later than you were perhaps used to in the past.
Yeah. So, again, July 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern/Pacific is when the premiere of Big Brother 27 will air. One of the things that we were able to derive from this press release is that they say, at least, it will be all new house guests moving in over the course of this 90-minute premiere. Now, it was not confirmed via this press release if it would be a live move-in. I know from Big Brother 22 through 25, they did live move-in and competitions. Last year, they opted to do a delayed move-in, but I think sort of did a sort of live-to-tape scenario with the Ainsley of it all for those back-to-back episodes. But yeah, we will have an episode there on Thursday, and then it all begins, Taran. It all kicks off the entire loving rigmarole that we are about to undergo with the show.
Yeah, a 90-minute premiere, not a 2-night premiere. Given that it's a Thursday, it feels maybe a little more likely that it's live, I guess. Given that there's not going to be an immediate follow-up episode, there's not going to be another episode until Sunday. So, like, when do the live feed start is a question. It could mean that they move in a few days early. In fact, there might be reason to believe that's the case. And that would mean that it's a taped premiere and that the live feeds would likely start after the episode airs. And we will be waiting that night for them to turn them on. But either way, yeah, definitely get used to the 90 minutes to mark here for Big Brother.
Yeah, so I would say that is one of the top headlines coming out of this press release, is just to work through, again, the beginnings of the schedule here. Sunday will also have a 90-minute episode. Maybe this is a sort of shift away from, okay, in the past it was a 2-hour premiere and a 1-hour episode too. Now we're sort of splitting the difference and doing 90 and 90. But surprisingly, Taran, the streak will continue, as Wednesday at 8 p.m. will be a 90-minute episode from 8 to 9:30. And for the first time in Big Brother history, that particular day change will be permanent. CBS has announced that every Wednesday episode of Big Brother will be 90 minutes long. They said it's going to run from 8 to 9:30. That might change, especially when Survivor ends up coming into the picture. Hey, Mike from the editing room here, interrupting myself to give a point of clarification. So just to make everyone aware, only the Wednesday episodes are being increased to 90 minutes for the entirety of the season. The Sunday episodes and the Thursday episodes of Big Brother 27 will go back down to their usual runtime of 1 hour. They're both scheduled right now to air at 8 p.m., running until 9. And for those of you watching the video, they provide a nice handy dandy chart here of what week 1 is going to look like. So we've got episodes on Thursday, Sunday, and Wednesday, all 90 minutes long. And then that Thursday, assumingly that first eviction on July 17th, is going to go from 8 to 9 p.m., go back to the 1 hour. And then in general, most weeks, Sunday from 8 to 9, Wednesday from 8 to 9:30, Thursday from 8 to 9, and then this special Friday show that we're going to get into from 8 to 9 as well. Hope that makes sense. Let's get back to the Flash. Give me your first thoughts here, Taran. It felt like when it comes to what I call the CBS Big Three, Survivor, An Amazing Race, crossed that threshold with 90-minute episodes being a permanent thing back in the fall of 2023. And Big Brother has now finally joined the party.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. My first thoughts are dread. The Amazing Race, when it went to 90 minutes, I kind of lost me. I feel like 90 minutes is a little too much for The Amazing Race. When Survivor went to 90 minutes, I was intrigued. I enjoyed it for a little while. This latest season has made me reconsider those thoughts. Maybe not all seasons are worth 90 minutes. Big Brother is a show I think that never needed 90 minutes. I tend to dread the 90-minute or 2-hour episodes of Big Brother because we already get 3 episodes in a week. And that's a lot of time. And my concern with longer episodes is that they don't often use that time very wisely. It usually just means like, oh, more competition or more punishments. And it doesn't mean more of the things that like we want, like more of the strategy and the social dynamics and whatever. So it's a little concerning. Maybe with a more regular schedule, they will find more. They will have like a better formula for what to do with it. Maybe they already plan to do something with this time. Maybe it does include a competition or a twist. Who knows? But listen, at the very least, hopefully it's a good sign for the health of the show that they are adding extra time to the schedule.
Yeah, so we'll talk about this in a couple of different ways, but there is a bit of past precedent for this. So I know the past couple of years, there were these random sort of spurts of 90-minute episodes that would pop up on the schedule. The one that really comes to mind for me was the Big Brother 25 Buddy Games veto competition where Miss Felicia, ends up passing out and Matt gets the Josh Duhamel cardboard cutout. I remember that being a 90-minute episode. And I do remember, to your point, a lot of the anticipation from Big Brother fans of like, oh, will there be an extra twist with the veto competition? Or like what we end up getting a lot from Survivor in particular, which is like, oh, great, this is more time to explore all the dynamics that are going on in the house. Because as has been proven through all the fantastic work you've done through the years, a lot goes on in a 24/7 game like Big Brother that cannot be contained within 3 1-hour periods over the course of a week. And what we ended up getting was more so them kind of just dragging out the competition to fit the 90-minute time frame. I think we got something similar in Big Brother 26. I think we got a couple of them in Big Brother 26, but the one I recall is I think like maybe it was the veto where Kenny ended up going home, where they had to like navigate the puzzle piece through the jungle. That was a 90-minute episode. And again, it largely elongated on that. And I believe that one even ended on a cliffhanger because that was the whole drama with Tucker using the veto on Angela without her knowing. And it was the cliffhanger of like, oh my God, what will Cedric do? So the way they appropriate the time in the past has been a little sticky at best, as things tend to be in the Big Brother house by the time the season's over. Hello, ants. But to your point, with it becoming more of a consistent scheduling thing, again, we saw with Survivor and with The Amazing Race to a certain extent, when the producers know they have to plan for habitual 90-minute episodes, from a design perspective, they could throw in things that they know could fill out the runtime, or like little extra doodads that they know they have the time to put in there that wouldn't need to be thrown on the cutting room floor in lieu of more important moments. So this could be something where maybe they'll use it as an opportunity to throw in some random tasks, or we'll already have a veto competition, but maybe something else special going on, more punishments being doled out, more prizes being won.
This is what I'm scared of, Mike. You're
No,
talking about the things I don't want.
But it could be something that will serve as a consistent basis to kind of help pad out that time, as opposed to saying, great, 90-minute episodes, I guess we're getting a 45-minute veto competition every Wednesday night this season.
Yes, that is very fair. Listen, I think like with most things with Big Brother, there's a way to do this. The show provides endless amounts of content, and it's just a matter of what they want to do with it. I think there's absolutely a world where every episode of Big Brother is a 90-minute episode, and they're phenomenal. Do we live in that world? I don't think so. But like, we can always remain hopeful. They made some progress, I think, in the most recent season, especially with their twists and with, I would not say with their 90-minute episodes, but I would say with like the competitions, the twists, the cast to some degree. So, there's some amount of reason to hope.
All right, well, let's bring in the other big piece of news that came from this press release, because, again, they truly are meaning supersized in every sense of the phrase, because not only are we getting some of the consistently longest episodes in Big Brother history with a weekly 90-minute episode, there will be every other week a Friday episode. And you could say technically of Big Brother, but Taran, for my money, I would say that this might be like, if not the first in a long time, the first outright Big Brother companion show that we are having. That there is this new show called Big Brother Unlocked, which just sounds like the nightmare scenario where all these players like subscriber-only posts get leaked to the public overall, and it's just massive chaos overall. But Big Brother Unlocked is going to be a Friday show that starts on, I believe it is July 25th, and then will be airing pretty much every other Friday. We'll go over the entire schedule, but it will feature an all-star panel of alumni breaking down, I guess, everything we saw over the past fortnight from Big Brother.
Yeah, it says they'll offer never-before-seen broadcast footage from the house, exclusive interviews, surprised guest appearances, and unprecedented behind-the-scenes access. Former house guests will share firsthand insight and expertise as they analyze gameplay, assess the competition, and give their insider's perspective every other Friday. So yeah, it's a bit on the side. It's house calls a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And because they have done something like this before. House calls went on for a little while. It was not aired on television, but it had its moments. Will this be good? That's a good question. Thank you for asking. I don't know. I think the issue with like the officially sanctioned things is that like how much are they actually going to talk about? Are they going to talk about live feeds, or are they going to talk about like guys? You'll never guess what they were up to in the house this week. All the stuff we couldn't fit into the 90-minute Wednesday episode. This guy is pranking people left and right.
Yeah.
And is that good for his game? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what I'm envisioning right now is that it'll be this, this trio, this holy trinity, whatever they might be, breaking down the action that we saw over the past couple weeks, giving their own form of insight. And then, like, this is a really big throwback, Taran. Back in the days where they used to interview Survivor contestants on the early show, they would come in with like a secret scene of that week, being like, oh, and here's a never before seen clip from this past week's Survivor episode. I could see something where there is like a deleted scene or storyline that made the cutting room floor that it's like, all right, and here's the storyline where Bobby keeps putting his feet in the pans and pissing off the house. And it's something that didn't make the edit for whatever reason, but they decided to throw it in here. Because that's what's so intriguing to me about this, is that it almost sounds like Unlocked is going for two completely different things, where the latter is something that, again, we saw a little bit of precedent of last season, where I think it was a month in, they had this random special where it was Cody California, whatever you want to call it. It was Taylor Hale, it was Jag, and the three of them sat down and basically did their own sort of like recap of like, well, wasn't it wild when Angela called Matt crazy eyes? Let's relive that and give our thoughts on it. From my perspective, low expectations are the key to happiness. Like, it was a little better than I thought it would be. And I don't know if at the time they thought it was going to be a test balloon for this, or if it just happened to coincidentally work out and they're like, hey, we have an extra Friday night time slot. Let's fit it in with something like this. But it seems like they're going to pursue that line. But then there's also this more behind the scenes aspect where it says, to your point, again, offer never before seen broadcast footage from the house. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means like stuff from the live eviction that didn't make the edit or whatever. Exclusive interviews with whom, surprise guest appearances from whom, and unprecedented behind the scenes access. I love a good amount of Big Brother alumni, safe to say. I don't know how many of them are going to be able to kind of dual wield here of like, yeah, I can talk about this game, and I'm going to go behind the scenes of Big Brother and show you what happened. So I'm intrigued to see if these three people are going to try to do both jobs simultaneously.
Yeah, obviously the segment with Jag, Cody, and Taylor seems like the most obvious thing to point to. I do think that went decently well. I think that a huge part of that is who are they choosing to do this. But then when they say like behind the scenes access, it makes me think of, I think it was Big Brother 10 when Danielle Reyes had like a special behind the scenes video where she went into the control room and did a little tour of the house. I'm imagining that style of thing as well. And yeah, again, that's like, who are we doing that with? I think obviously Taylor is somebody that would be very good at both. But, I don't know that all alumni would be good at both. Are these going to be consistent people, the same three people every time? Are they going to have roles? Are they going to be changing them out? Is there going to be some kind of other host or facilitator there? These are all questions that I have. And we'll see.
Let's talk about, obviously, a lot of stuff that we know about. But this truly wouldn't be a Big Brother podcast, Taran, if we did not wildly speculate as to what we don't know. So some information that did not make this press release that still might be coming out before July 10th, or we might find out on the premiere or afterwards. We do not know how many house guests that there will be. Again, it says that there will be an all new group of house guests. So unfortunately, the yearly dragon of the returnee rumors are put to rest once more, but we don't know how many there are going to be. We don't know if there are any big themes, either when it comes to decor or even twists. Obviously, last year you have a great example of like an overall aesthetic for the house and how it carried over to theming the entire season. We don't know as well, speaking of themes, if we will see a form of the AI arena return. To your earlier point, I think one of the big twists that a lot of people hailed as one of the best we have seen in quite some time. It seemed like the producers were really positively receptive to it as well and wanted to bring it back in some form. That has not been announced yet. And the biggest one, I would say, is that we have a premiere date, but we do not have a season length. Ergo, we do not have a finale date. Now, you and I were trying our best to put our heads and calendars together to try to figure something out. So again,
triangulating.
Exactly. Yeah, we're trying to both be school brain oriented here, but again, this is completely non-official. We are not saying yes, this is exactly what the finale date is, but let's point something out that came out through this press release. So we have all the dates that Big Brother Unlocked is going to be airing. So again, it starts on Friday, July 25th. Then it airs August 8th, August 22nd, September 5th, September 19th, and then finally September 26th. So with that last exception, it's going to be every other week. But looking at that final date of September 26th, Taran, I had assumed that the season has to air sometime relatively after that. It could be as simple as the 2 days afterwards. We know that they've been doing a lot of Sunday finales the past few seasons. It could be at some point the next week. It could be the next Sunday. But I would imagine if we're looking at a finale date / season length right now, it would most likely run until either the end of September or beginning of October.
Yeah, basically, if that final unlocked show is the 26th, and interestingly, yes, that jump the 19th and the 26th, it seems like, oh, let's do one more before the finale is sort of how that feels. Then yeah, that could mean the finale is the Sunday after that, the 28th. If that were the case, and let's say it was a live premiere, that would mean roughly 80 days of gameplay, which is quite low for what they've done quite very recently.
I remember 2 years ago, Taran, when they did 100 days of gameplay.
Exactly. So that implies to me that we are likely going to have a little bit of an earlier move-in date. That would up the day count a little bit higher than 80. We could also then have a slightly later finale. It could be the following Wednesday or Thursday, the 1st of October or the 2nd. That would also add a few days, get us to like 85, 87, depending on when they move in, which is closer to 90, which is closer to what they did last season. So I think either way, we're likely looking at a finale date around the end of September, as you said, and likely a still shorter season than we got previously. I know 90 days was shorter than we had been getting, but man, did the end of that season feel very long, given the result of it. So, it wouldn't be surprising if they cut it a little bit shorter once again. But at the same time, they're adding more airtime to the show.
Which is this weird balance. So, it's like, oh, it's supersized. Also, it might be 10 days shorter at the most than the season that existed last time. So it's sort of like lessening its width and increasing its height, sort of changing the same amount of dimensions there. So we shall see. I agree that I think that's sort of what we can focus on at this point. We obviously don't have, they just released the fall schedule for CBS, and we know that Survivor and The Amazing Race, as per usual, will be occupying the same slot on Wednesday night. But The Amazing Race typically airs a week or sometimes even two after Survivor starts, because Survivor typically premieres with a 2-hour episode. And without getting into too much, because there was a certain amount of information that was not revealed at the upfronts, probably will be at a later time, I imagine that Big Brother fans might be intrigued to see what might follow with other Wednesday 90-minute episode CBS reality shows. But my best guess is that Survivor at this point would probably premiere on the 24th. And then maybe Big Brother airs like either a 1 hour episode or doesn't air anything that night because we're encroaching upon the finale. There's no more veto, et cetera, et cetera. And then it ends on the 28th just because they've tried now sort of bleeding Big Brother into the Survivor season, and it gets a little muddy. And again, without teasing too much, I would say that if people still want their Big Brother fix when October begins, they'll have some stuff that they can look forward to.
I mean, it does feel like I don't know where it makes sense, but it feels like you should probably air the premiere of Amazing Race right after an episode of Big Brother. But I don't know how to make that work. I'm not a TV scheduler.
Yeah, that is incredibly valid. So we'll see. All that is much more up in the air. Of course, we are told to expect the unexpected, and that might happen from a programming point too. We might come back here in a month's time, Taran, and says, well, actually, we're going on for 125 days. Supersize that, BB fans. So we shall see. But that's our best estimate at this point as to how things are going to conclude. And for my money, that's the most information that we have gotten out of this press release. It is a lot. I feel like it's actually more than we usually get out of this initial Big Brother premiere date announcement. But I think it's also because it comes with a couple of really big pieces in terms of the 90-minute Wednesday episodes, as well as this new Big Brother Unlocked bi-weekly episode. But Taran, is there anything else that you want to highlight from either this press release or looking ahead to Big Brother 27 now that we officially have sort of a signpost coming up here on the highway?
Yeah. So I know a lot of people have been wondering about the live feeds and whether we will have flashback. There's no information about that in this press release, which, yeah, again, I would say if we don't hear about it, that's bad news in terms of getting it back. They would certainly make a meal of it, I think, if they were to bring it back. So I wouldn't anticipate that. They do talk about how live feeds will be there in general, and specifically Pluto TV is going to have the live feeds again, which of course makes a lot of sense. That's been a very successful program for them. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily anticipate flashbacks, but live feeds will be here. They also did mention that like if you want to watch the live broadcast of the episodes on Paramount Plus, you will need the extra you can't have the essential subscription.
Yeah, you have to specifically get Paramount Plus with Showtime. Remember back in the day, Taran, when Showtime used to do Big Brother After Dark? Now it's being sort of bundled in as an incentive for people to be able to watch Big Brother live through live streaming their CBS affiliates. Otherwise,
and to be clear, yeah, that's for the episodes, not the live feeds. The live feeds are available via, I assume, either subscription or Pluto TV. It's the watching the episodes of CBS on CBS through Paramount Plus that requires a certain level of subscription.
So much more information to come, I'm sure. We'll probably find out more teases as to the theme of the house / maybe of the season. If there's, any information about the first big twist. I know that they sometimes like to walk through like how the premiere is going to work. If there's anything in terms of the season length and how that might be incorporated into everything. Who knows? Maybe, again, supersize. It's 25 years of Big Brother, we should mention, as well. This is the show's 25th anniversary. Could they up the prize fund again? We shall see. But otherwise, this is just the beginning of not only plenty of Big Brother news, but plenty of Big Brother coverage to come. So, Taran, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and talk with me. I'm sure that when I slid into your DM saying, oh, do you want to talk about some Big Brother news? You were ready to come on with your Tubina shrine to mourn the latest, sad tale of one of the most popular Big Brother showmances in recent memory. But we had some other stuff to speculate about here.
Mike says that like the first thing out of his mouth when I jumped into this call was, Taran, love is dead. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. Listen, I may be projecting a little bit, but yeah, I was a very big piece of news that dropped as well. But who knows? There might be some other showmances waiting in the wings that we're not even sure about that will soon take over our lives and our feeds and our live feeds. And Taran, you will be the one covering it all starting on July 10th. And assumingly beforehand, we'll eventually get a cast release that will probably happen in the few days leading up to the season. I'm sure you'll get some more stuff there in between. But anything you'd like to plug right now between this moment and less than 2 months from now when we get into Big Brother 27 proper?
Well, if you haven't been following in the off season, we've been doing these Big Brother retrospective podcasts, going back through the history of the show season by season, kind of giving a rundown on what was happening each season. I've also started making some videos on my YouTube channel, watching the Genius UK, trying to watch the Devil's Plan, basically just like videos of like the episode and me reacting to it. So those have been receiving a lot of great feedback. So if you want to check them out, you can find those over on YouTube. And we're also doing tons of awesome stuff on We Know Scripted TV. The Tastemakers, talking about all the new shows. We've been covering The Last of Us, Andor, all kinds of fun stuff happening. So check it all out.
Yeah, actually, at the time this is being released, you can listen to Taran and I and Grace Leader talk about the last 3 episodes of Andor. So the news just gets perfectly set up like dominoes, and we keep knocking down. And that being said, there is still plenty of news to come. This ended up, falling into my messages a bit surprisingly, but I will have a reality flash coming out later this week, recapping all the upfronts that we got from the networks. A lot of them unveiled their fall TV lineups in some way, shape, or form. And I'll talk about it from an unscripted perspective, what's coming back for another season and when, some new shows that might be coming, some revivals of shows that might be coming. Taryn Fox is bringing back not only The Weakest Link, but Fear Factor as well for whatever reason.
Oh boy. Is it just the Joe Rogan Experience?
I mean, it might be. This might just be the best trick ever to get people to watch Joe Rogan on a broadcast TV basis.
I mean, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
The idea.
So I'll provide more information about that. You don't need to fear. I have you covered here on the Reality Flash. But of course, if you have noticed some news that I haven't that you want covered on this show, just tips at therealityflash.com. And again, if you're not subscribed, go to therealityflash.com to make sure you don't miss out on announcements that end up, falling out of the sky like an errant banner plane, like stuff like this. We try to hop into your eyes and ears as quickly as possible to try to give you all the breaking news coverage you might need about these shows. And so if you don't want to miss out on great stuff like this, where we provide you hopefully a huge, cave of nuggets of information, both speculative and actually informative, feel free to check out therealityflash.com, leave a rating and review. Thank you so much for listening. Taran, thank you so much for coming down, offering your pearls of wisdom as per usual, and I guess officially kicking off Big Brother 27 coverage, perhaps. I don't know if I'm the one to officially pull that lever, but it's the first time we're getting really any permanent, really sound information about Big Brother 27 this year. And hopefully, assumingly, a lot more to come. Thank you again so much. TheRealityFlash.com. Just tips at TheRealityFlash.com for any news that you might have. I'll be back in your eyes and ears soon with more news from this wild world of reality TV as it comes. But until then, everybody, you've just been flashed.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.